Magic?
Yes.
Owls?
3-ish.
Well, you can add 2 more, because it's Horace and Olivia, and we're here to talk all about the Owl House. What happened, what we think will happen, and...
Who?
No, Olivia. Why? Why it happened. It's Look Who's Talking!
My eyes are down here.
But it all built to a dangerous magical quest where Luz had to choose.
You guys think I'm special, but it's not real.
I once went on a dangerous magical quest myself, asked out a snowy owl. Got the cold shoulder. Sure, mock my pain, audience. Mock it.
Aw, but I do have to say the ending was really sweet.
If we all waited around for a prophecy to make us special, we'd die waiting. And that's why you need to choose yourself.
And we definitely need to talk about this week's MVP. In this episode, the character that truly stepped up and saved the day was Cody!
Happening what? Are you hurt? Are you passing an egg? Did you see a mouse?
Nah, my feathers are just straight ruffled after this week's Owl House episode. There's so much to unpack.
I want answers!
Then let's get down to the witchy business. It's Horace and Olivia bringing you the what, why, how, and who's who in the Owl House.
It's Look Who's Talking! We finally saw the Hexite School of Magic and Demonics. This is exciting.
I'm seeing it.
This is so
I'm seeing it.
exciting.
I'm seeing the
Look at
talons.
that
I'm seeing the wings. I'm
waistband.
seeing all of it.
That
It's incredible. So nearly owl-like. Okay, intro. Horace.
Olivia,
Look who's talking. Done. Did you see what I just saw?
Clear as night! She's an owl, 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 she's an owl. Those talons!
You're telling me.
Those wings!
Could have been more heavily utilized, but they sure are on her body.
And that lore!
When I was younger, I was Kurt.
Intros.
I love intros.
Sorry, guys, but we have to move with Peregrine Falcon speed to cover everything from this episode.
That's the fastest bird in the world.
So we're going where connections make their connections.
We're jumping on the theory train and taking it all the way to Speculation Station! Hoo-hoo!
Welcome aboard! Our first stop on this magical journey is covens. So there are 9 major covens relating to the 9 Hexide tracks.
Wait, last time you said there were only 8.
There were 8 last time. I went through the footage over and over again, and there was no brown. I didn't see a brown. I was down a brown.
Derailed, Horace. Thanks to these reveals, we can punch off more from our track tracker. Pink, Abomination.
Green, plant.
Light blue, Illusion.
Brown, construction.
Purple, Fortune Teller's Coven. And I'm calling yellow the Potions track.
Ooh, good catch. This leaves these 3 still unknown. Red,
Music Magic.
blue,
For the Stopping Traffic Coven.
and orange.
Tiny Serpent Sorcery.
I'm seeing more of a chicken pot pie coven.
Are you just making this up?
Who's talking?
Brought to you by...
The magic of friendship! This episode was all about those magical connections we like to call friendship.
And we're learning more about these friendships as time goes on.
Like Willow and Amity.
She and I used to be friends, but when she got her magical powers and I didn't, she stopped hanging out with me.
So it's time to play a friendly game of
Friend or foul?
First up, it's Ida and King, friends or foul?
Friends. Of course, that kind of closeness is almost criminal.
I need an extra pair of hands in case I want to pickpocket.
Pickpocket! How about Ida and Tibbles? Friend or foul?
You card shark, you hustled me.
Me going to the owl shack and bugging you while you fry up owls?
I don't understand. Who would suggest such a thing? Frying owls? What's next? Blanching birds?
Horace,
Baking boo books?
Horace, we're
steaming
on.
squalls?
While he
poaching
gets his
carrots,
ducks in a row,
caramelizing
let's make our way to
cassowaries,
Fort
sautéing
Shadow. Welcome to Fort Shadow, where we're safe to discuss things we could have seen coming on the Owl House. First off, Luce and Amity finally seem to have turned a corner.
Maybe you aren't a bully. I haven't exactly been the friendliest witch either.
How could we have known their relationship would start a new chapter? If only there was something that related these 2 separate things together. But what would that thing be?
A connection?
Get to befriend everyone, even her biggest rival.
There's still nothing firmly tying Luz to Azura.
Azura?
Close.
Oh, now I see it.
And that's not even the first time. Remember the convention episode?
I didn't see a brown, okay?
Not only is Azura shown with an old woman and small creature, but it's our first and only mention of a witch's duel prior to Luce challenging Amity.
And look at this. Hecate's face. It has two sides. The meaner-looking side is facing Azura, but there's another, dare I say, nicer face that's definitely there, just obscured. Like how Amity had a gentler side we just weren't seeing.
Foreshadowing at its finest.
Well, I sure will look out for Azura next time she's shown. Top-notch job, Owlivia.
Got strong emotions for this episode of The Owl House.
Would those emotions be love?
I'd certainly love to talk about it.
It's
Look
Look
Who's
Who's
Talking! Who doesn't like a good body swap episode? The awkwardness.
I've got some very confusing emotions right now.
The hijinks. Come to me!
Huh?
Ah! The cliche!
This is just like my favorite early 2000s movie, Freaky Saturday.
But there were a few important things we got to bear witness to. Here's this week's top 3.
Number 3!
Luce's light.
Lu's casting a light spell is nothing new, but you'd think we see more of it.
But look at what she's been able to accomplish.
That's one bright kid.
Did I spell something wrong? Or did I spell something right?
Stop that.
Then let's shine a light on Number 2! The return of Lilith. We got a few more clues as to Ida's past.
Join the Emperor's Coven, like we dreamed about.
Ida wanted to be in the Emperor's Coven?
Audible gasp! Seems like Lilith would do anything to get Ida into the Emperor's Coven.
Even defy the will of the Emperor, who we still have yet to see.
That leads us to the most important thing we've seen all episode.
Number 1!
Hootie!
Another episode, another example of how you should always lie to your friends.
This is gonna work out after all.
Right now, Olivia?
Seriously?
This isn't gonna work out at all.
Sometimes it's like you're not even paying attention.
Of course I'm paying attention. How else would I have been able to glean Ida's full name? Edeling Clawthorn.
Incredible! So what does this mean for the lore?
Oh, it means nothing.
A what?
Bye!
Stop! You're telling me you didn't see these?
Principal Bump's incident reports on Ida? Sure, I saw them.
But did you read them with your eyes?
They just flew by so quickly I didn't have a chance to.
Lucky for you, you can read them now.
Sure, just let me put on my reading voice.
At 1300 hours, Edeling Clawthorn of the Potions Track let loose a pack of feral ghosts in the girls' locker room.
Wait, Potions Track?
Bingo! Ida was always a bird of a different color, but one that definitely started in the track system. But I think this one is really gonna squawk to you.
Edeling Clawthorn raised an army of abominations to start a food fight in the cafeteria after her sister Lilith's lunch money was stolen. The abominations then gained sentience and revolted against Edeling, forming into one giant abomination. Edeling, Lilith, and the thief had to form an unlikely alliance to stop the giant abomination from destroying Hexide. That was
Epic.
Sure, Ida was a bit of a wild card, but a wild card that cares about her sister.
When you mess with the Clawthorns, you get the thorn.
Action-packed trials, I got to do my flag wave, and I'm slightly traumatized. Hooray!
You think that was traumatizing?
Oh, he's my palisman, and we're bonded for life.
Oh, no, no, no. Albert!
It's Look Who's Talking! Albert, he certainly is the best of us. And by us, I mean collectively as owls and separately as a palisman.
I made Albert from the branch of an ancient tree. That's his interlock, so he only fits under my staff.
Humans were certainly a twist I did not see coming.
A similar twist as the Bat Queen reveal?
Is that an interlock? You were a palisman.
Oh, I still get goosebumps.
Though you could have seen it coming.
Right, because...
Because if you look earlier in the episode, you can see Bat Queen, interlock completely visible.
Okay, know it, Owl. But there's still a scene that alludes to Bat Queen's palisman connection. Way before that.
You've got some owl-splaining to do.
Episode 7. Check out Bat Queen's feet as she leaves the Owl House.
Such are the seeds from which speculation trees sprout.
Speaking of trees, let's carve out some time to talk about staffs.
We know a witch typically gets their staff during school. We've seen 4 staffs in action thus far, but 2 are either fake or illusionary, leaving us with Ida's owl staff.
And Lilith's raven staff, meaning the raven is probably a palisman as well.
Are you saying the top of Lilith's staff is Raven's home?
And it all seems to start with a palisman being carved from an ancient tree.
What I would give to see this tree.
Though if it were me, I'd address a few more of these mysteries.
Spill the tea.
Who is